Where's the screen share? Okay. Let me know if you see my screen.
We got it.
All right. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go over the core principles, because I think what most people miss, especially when they're new online, is how traffic actually works and what traffic, actually is. Because I know, like Dustin said, I've been online for the past 10 years. I started in 2011. And I initially came online because I was in network marketing. I was in a company called Five Links, and I was struggling to get leads, right? I didn't understand traffic. I didn't know anything about advertising. I was just a hungry guy. I wanted to pitch everybody that I came across. I pitched my friends and family, and I saw it didn't turn out the way that I hoped. So I came online and I had to learn these tactics. But the thing is, what I'm about to show you tonight, it took me years to learn, but you're going to see it's very simple. And those are the kind of things that I love to teach, those aha moments when you connect those dots and everything makes sense. So hopefully by the end of this call, you'll have those moments. So I'm going to get right into it. First and foremost, my goal for this call is to teach you how to never run out of high quality leads to prospect to daily. All right. And let me just move this real quick. And I'm going to show you the tool that's going to let me do it. So Dustin said, I'm the creator of Social Prospector Pro. This tool right here is, I'll just say this. I created this tool for myself personally about 3 years ago. And I was getting results. I was doing a lot of things behind the scenes, but then I saw my team was struggling. Even though I was teaching them how to do stuff manually, they were still struggling, right? Because a lot of this stuff, and you're going to find out, is very, very it's a lot. It's a lot. And you'll see if you try to do this stuff manually, it'll drive you crazy. So I'm just going to teach you the principles, and you should be off to the races by the end of this call. So right here on my screen, you'll see I have an infographic called the Profile Profit Formula, and it's based on 4 core principles that you want to make sure that you follow and questions that you want to ask yourself. So there are 4 questions you need to know the answer to before you generate unlimited targeted leads and sales from your personal Facebook profile. And keep in mind, you don't have to take notes or anything. Dustin's recording it. I just want you to kind of go with me so you understand how everything connects. So the first question is, who is your perfect customer? The second is, where can you find them? The third is, what bait can you use to attract them? And the fourth is, what result do you want to give them? And so I'm just going to fast forward right here to my Facebook profile. And so you can see it's nothing special. I slapped up a banner, and you could probably tell who I'm targeting based on the headline inside of my banner. Stop pitching friends and family. This free method will skyrocket your downline in 4 steps. So that's the bait that I want to put out to attract my perfect customer. And keep in mind, I said I already know who I'm trying to attract. I'm looking for team builders, network marketers, people that are looking to recruit, right? And so I know that that's appealing. Where can you find them? I'm about to go over that in a moment. And what result do you want to give them? I told inside of the debate, I'm going to help you figure out how you can stop pitching your friends and family, right? So let me just go ahead and break this down. Now, traffic, the way traffic works, and I think a lot of people think that it's a bigger strategy involved than it really is. Like even the fact that I do solo ads, like Dustin mentioned, and really what a solo ad is I have a list, I built up a list, or you can say like a group, or basically I have a platform where it contains a lot of people that share the same interest, and that interest is ways to make money, work from home, supplement their income. And so then I have someone come to me with an offer that fits within that framework and say, well, here, I'm going to pay you a set amount to send these visitors to my offer, right? And so I'm going to show you how that applies on Facebook. And so the first thing that you want to remember is that you want to know what that person's intentions are. And I train on intention versus interest. And you can see right here, it says, put yourself in your prospect's shoes and think, what are your intentions? So we've all seen, or we might have said, if you have a daughter, or if you saw a movie and your daughter's going on her first date or whatever the case is, the father pulls the date to the side and says, what are your intentions with my daughter? And I want you to remember that, because that's how you need to think when you're targeting your perfect prospect. You have to put yourself in their shoes and think, are they actually willing to buy? Are they willing to pay money? How do I know that? And or are they actually just interested? And I'll show you an example. So right now, I'm going to teach you a very simple trick. I'm just going to put in hashtag travel just to prove my point. So you see right here, Don Mosley. I'm all about good vibes, big goals, amazing experience. And she basically has a generic post that says one of the amazing ways we're spoiled in Tennessee for our leadership retreat last month was professional photo shoot. So she just happened to put hashtag travel on this post. Now, keep in mind, there's 95 people who engage with this post, but does that mean that they're in love with travel? Does that mean that they're, they're jet setters? They can't wait to the next vacation? No, maybe a lot of them are, but I don't have a clear indicator that that's the case. Now, let me show you this one right here. Same thing. You might think, okay, Travel Channel. People who subscribe, who like the Travel Channel Facebook page, surely they love travel. And I would say out of 4 million people, almost 5 million people, a lot of them will. But again, that's not specific enough for me personally, right? But this is a good backup. I'll show you what you want to start off with. Okay, let me see. What I like to tell people to do, it doesn't matter what niche, what industry, it literally does not matter. Go to the Facebook search bar and type in I love and whatever your niche is. Put that in. So for this, I love travel. I'm going to go down here to groups. And so the first thing you see are a list of groups. A lot of them are public. And just so you know, I skip over public groups because let me just show you an example. Most of these groups are spam to death. Let's see. And a lot of them don't have a ton of engagement. Take only photo. See, this is a lot of these people are advertising their own opportunities. So I don't want to be a part of a group like that, right? Because I want people, let's see, solo traveler. Let's see. 4 years ago. I'll move this out the way. Okay, so this group right here, it has 215,000 people. Let's see how active they are. 123 posts today, 4,000 posts the past month, and again, 215,000 people. So this is the perfect group for me to go ahead and click on join. Okay, well, I guess they don't ask any questions. But the thing is, when you're looking to join private groups and pop-up appears that asks you to apply for that group. So in other words, it asks you, how did you come across this group? Do you agree to the rules of this group? And we've all seen it, so on and so forth, right? The thing is, that's actually a good thing because it's keeping spammers out. So you want to take the time, open up a couple of tabs. You know, it can be 10 groups. I'm having a hard time moving this thing out the way. Let me see if I can get this. Share, disable, annotation. All right, video plan. Okay, here we go. Perfect. All right, take the time, open up 10 groups. This is a public group. I don't want that. Private, private, private. I love Iceland. Private, travel the world, 265,000 people. Now let's see what the description is on this one. Okay, only members can see. Welcome to Travel the World. We want to hear all about your travel experience. Tell us your story and share your pictures with us. And so you can see this group is active like crazy. 139 new posts today. Wow. In the past week, almost 6,000 new members. So this would be another great group. This is another good example. So you get the point. You want to go through, and again, here you go, follow our page. You want to go through and you want to apply to join as many travel lover groups as possible. And I'm going to show you why. All right. So we started off with the I Love Travel group. Okay. Again, you want to look for private groups. Once you get accepted inside of these groups, you want to make sure that you do not spam. That's rule number one. Do not post inside of this group. If you do, make sure it's helpful. Make sure you don't have a link. It's non-promotional, none of that type of stuff, right? And I'll show you why in a moment. All right. So what we want to do, and I'll go back to this. Once we join these groups, once we locate our perfect prospect and we find groups and posts that they're hanging out on, what we want to do is we want to friend request a ton of these people every single day. Reason being, Facebook gives us the room to have 5,000 friends at any given time. And for some reason, they don't allow us to have more than that. Is all well and good. Just imagine, I like to tell people, just imagine you had an auditorium or a stadium filled to the top with 5,000 people who you knew for a fact were interested in traveling or couldn't wait to take the next trip. So all you had to do, if you got on stage to present, is basically not mess up. Share why your program is the number one program for them. Share how you solve a major problem for them. And you can't help but to have a big portion of that stadium sign up with you. So it's the same principle when it comes to Facebook. And so I'm just going to show you Social Prospector Pro and how that allows you to tap into these different groups and automate this process to build out your 5,000 friends of your perfect prospects. So you can see right here on the home page, basically this tool works in two ways. It works as a lead generation tool, and it also works as a Facebook management tool. So this very first feature, it allows you to scan your Facebook profile, ranging from posts that you've created over the last 7 days all the way up to the past year. And it's going to bring you back results of people who are inactive or who did not engage with your with any of your posts within that chosen time span that you chose, right? And so out of 1,700 friends, 1,500 of them have not engaged with my posts. So engagement means hit any of the emojis, like, love, angry face, laugh face, it doesn't matter, heart, and also comment on your post. So out of 1,700 friends, 1,500 of these people chose not to engage with my post. And I can also take it a step further if I chose to, and I can do a conversation filter. And what it would do is it'll go right to my Facebook inbox, and it'll scan through all of my messages all the way up from 1 month to the past year. And it'll filter that list down even more based on people I've spoken to in my inbox, right? But I'm going to skip that for now. Now, once you have your inactive list, you see I have that 1,500. I can also rearrange that list, and I can order them from the oldest friends to the newest friends, because primarily what we want to do when we're starting off with this strategy that I'm going to show you, you're going to want to get rid of a ton of Facebook friends that you currently have. Reason being, you want to treat those 500 slots like gold. You do not want to have any friends that are not willing to spend money with you, that are not, that have not shown prior interest in what you have to offer, so on and so forth. Keep in mind, I have a list of personal friends and family that I never want to remove under any circumstance. And because of that, we have a feature called Safe List. So if there's any person in here, like my buddy Nick right here, that you do not want to remove under any circumstance, you click Add to Safe List.
We're going to have to get with Nick and find out why he's not engaged with your stuff, though.
Oh, yeah, that's true. If I did the conversation filter, he definitely wouldn't be on his list. But you want to build out that safe list, and that's going to protect them. Every time you go through this friend removal process, just make sure that you import that safe list. And keep in mind, once you build up this safe list, you can export it as a CSV file, and you can store it anywhere, safe, on your Dropbox, computer, whatever the case is. And so once we start to remove friends every single day, and we start to clear out all of these tire kickers, people who never have intentions on spending money with us, then we want to build that list back up. And I'm going to show you two features that's going to allow us to do that. The first feature is called Post Friender. So I'm just going to open up this Facebook window. Let me make this big. Let's see. What's that company I always see commercials for? Is it Travelocity? Travelocity. Let's see.
Or Booking or something like that, or Expedia.
Yeah, that's just the first thing that comes to mind. So let's just go to Travelocity, and say, for example, you figured out that this is the best demographic that you want to target, right? So you come here and you can see how these engagers are lit up red, right? So what that's going to allow you to do, once you click on it, you see you're prompted to begin friend requesting every single person that engaged with this post. So let me just show you a real life example for me personally. So like I said, I target network marketers, right? So I might go to a group like Network Marketing Questions. You see right here, I joined the group. This was a private group. So I know the quality is there, and this group contains nothing but network marketers. So I'm going to friend request every single person that engaged on this post, and you can see the counter has started. And multiple things are going to happen as I do this. A person's going to say, well, who's this Rodney Stokes guy? Let me go check out his profile. So that's profile traffic. And what I mean by profile traffic is if you have your profile properly set up to where you have something value driven as your headline or on your profile banner, then that's going to pique their interest. Let me just show you what I mean as this works. And Dustin, let me know if I'm moving too fast or if any questions pop up. So you can see right away, if someone said, well, out of that network marketing group, who's this Rodney guy? And they come land on my profile, the first thing they're going to see is this message that says, stop pitching friends and family. This free method will skyrocket your downline in 4 steps. And so I know for a fact that that's valuable and that's appealing to that crowd because I used to be a part of that crowd. And I know that that's a major pain point. And so that person can click and then see this link, click on that. And Dustin showed earlier in that chat, once you put up a new profile, you're going to get traffic, especially like I said, once you do this method and people come to check out and see who you are, people are going to see this message and click, and they're going to click around. So you want to make sure that you have valuable content here. And then also I make sure that I put out content that's relevant to my crowd as well. So it's kind of like a celebrity, you want to stay relevant. You got to make sure that you feed the crowd, right? You put some valuable stuff out there. You can see all the courses you buy and notes you take mean nothing if you never take action. So I know that resonates with my crowd because it resonates with me, because it's a rule that I live by, right? Repetition creates reputation. Consistent value is key. And so all I'm doing is building up trust. I'm building up reputation, just like that post said. And so it's a saying, people only do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. So the fastest way to speed that up is by putting out value. And the easiest way to create value is to just simply answer questions. So for example, I'm just putting out advice right now, but I can easily switch it over and I can, answer questions that I know my prospect would have ahead of time. And so once they land here, like for example, let's see. If a person, say, for example, I know that the network marketing crowd does hotel meetings, and then, I'll put out some type of content that says, find out in 4 steps how you can 10x your downline without going to a hotel meeting ever, or something like that. I know for a fact it appeals to my crowd or the people on my friends list because I know exactly how they became friends with me because I targeted them using this method. Okay, let me go back to that screen. Here we go. All right. Let's see how many we sent so far. Okay, complete. Total request 19 sent. Okay, so that's the post lever tool. Now let me show you something that I personally think is the most powerful feature in here. And post lever I love as well, but I'll tell you why I love this feature more. The member friender tool. So same crowd, network marketing questions. Again, this is a group that I'm a part of. So you see right here, it opened up to the members page. So not only can I friend request the members inside of here, but it starts off the freshest members first. And so the reason I love this is because Shelly is on fire right now. Maybe she just became a network marketer yesterday and she's pumped up. She wants to soak up as much information as possible and she's hungry to learn, right? So I want to start with those hungry people first versus someone that's been in network marketing for 2 years and, they're just paying on the auto ship and, they're like, well, hey, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm not interested really, right? And so you can see right here, it's scrolling down 100 times. Let me just shorten this up real quick to show you. I'll make it 15. So everything is fully customizable, right? So what's going to happen is it's going to scroll down the page 15 times. It's going to count how many people it came across within those 15 scrolls. And then it's going to go right back to the top and start friend requesting every single person one by one. And keep in mind, inside of this software, we have settings where For example, if I only want to friend request 30 people a day, I can set it to not friend request more than 30 people a day, right? But for now, demonstration purposes, I'm just going to let it rip. And you can see this is a ton of people. So let's see how many it came across. $165 people. And you can see it went right back to the top. Where we at? Okay, I think Shelly's going to be up next. Let's see. Oh no, we're still friend requesting right here. So Jesse, you can see friend request sent. Now Shelly's going to be up next. There we go. Again, it's going to go down one by one and friend request. So let me just stop that. So again, two things are going to happen when I start friend requesting these people. You're going to get profile traffic. So people are going to be checking out your banner, your content, and then also you're going to be getting inbox conversations. Now, when I first got a network marketing, this was back in like 2005 or 6 or something like that, the first time. And I had a sponsor who used to always tell me something called a 6-foot rule. And she used to say, pitch anybody that comes within 6 feet of you. And a lot of you on this call have probably heard or been taught that. I can't stand that, especially right now during social distancing. That's not going to work very well. But the 6-foot rule has nothing on how many people you can get in front of and have conversations by using this method. And also a goal that I used to have was just talk to 10 people a day. Again, you're going to crush that. If you follow this routine every single day, just put out valuable stuff, position yourself as a person of value, firm request the correct people, your inbox is going to be blowing up and it's going to be the right people. So it's not like you're having a random conversation and you're trying to flip this person and force them to be interested in traveling. You're going to be having conversations with people who are all about travel, right? And so same thing with me, network marketing. I'm not wasting my time. Every single person that sends me a message, I know how they became friends with me because I targeted them. And so every conversation I'm upbeat about. I'm like, okay, well, let's see if I can get a sale, right? Versus you trying to pitch your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, that stuff never works out in your favor, right? So friend requesting daily will lead to inbox messages and profile traffic. The goal is to fill up your friends list with your perfect prospects. So Facebook caps us at 5,000. Again, we want to fill up every single friends list. We don't want to waste any spots. We want every single one of those 5,000 people to be the perfect prospect. And the thing is, a lot of people talk about how Facebook every year, the algorithm makes it worse for organic reach. I mean, I think at one time it was like 7% of your friends list would see what you posted, and then they knocked it down to 5 and then 2, or I don't know where it's at now. But with this, when you do this method, none of that stuff will matter. Because, for example, even if you have only 1,000 friends that are made up of this crowd, and Facebook, every time you post, lets you reach 1%, right? So what's that? 10 people. So even though those numbers suck, those 10 people are high quality. So it's quality over quantity. So would you rather, have your offer in front of, 100 people that can care less, or 10 people that are highly focused on exactly what you have to offer, right? And then Facebook doesn't do 1%. So I'm just giving you an example. So let's say it's 3%. You know what I mean? So those numbers are going to work in your favor every time you post. So again, every time you post, been seen 100% of the time by the perfect prospect. Post about topics that you know your audience is interested in. And you know what they're interested in because you know where you found them. I just covered that. So you want to lead with a solution to the main pain point of your market. And so I'm not in the travel industry. I don't know all of the pain points, but I can tell you never lead with logic. Never pitch about, we have the best, let's see, we have the best rates, in the world. We have the best compensation. People don't care about compensation plans and all of that stuff. You probably didn't care about compensation plans when you got in. You emotionally made a decision to get in. You probably saw yourself traveling, saving money, and then making money as you save money. So you have to pitch people on an emotional level. So again, when you look at my profile, I'm not talking about all of the steps that I'm going to teach somebody. I'm just telling them, stop pitching friends and family. You no longer have to do that. I know how painful that is. When I graduated 10 years ago from college, I literally opened up my graduation book and I looked at all the alumni and I went down one by one and I reached out because I thought our common interest of, I graduated from Morgan State. So I thought graduating from the same school, they'll be open. I either got ignored, cussed out, blocked, all type of things because I was trying to force someone who didn't show any prior interest. So I don't want you to run into that. So again, always lead with value, always lead with emotion first. And once you hook someone emotionally, and you relieve a big stress or a big pain that they have, then you fill them in on the rest, which are the logistics, the facts, the figures, the numbers, and all of that type of stuff. All right. So your banner content should fall within that framework of those pain points. You want to be the solution. You want people to see you as a person of value, a person who has solutions. Again, that's why just answering questions in advance and putting out helpful stuff out there is setting you up to be a person of value, and it builds that trust automatically. Again, this is important right here. Your Facebook profile. You want to make sure that your profile is mobile optimized. And this is a quick trick that you can do. I've been around for a while, so I know a lot of little weird tricks, but you can stretch your thing. You can bring your profile into as small as it gets. And a lot of times, depending on the site, Facebook's one of them, they'll show you how that page looks on mobile devices. And you want to make sure, again, I specifically designed, let me cancel that. I specifically designed my banner in this position so that everything can be seen clearly on a mobile device. So you see right above my head, nothing's cut off. You can even see the name of the actual training. So you want to make sure that you mobile optimize, because I think it's like something like 85 to maybe even 90% of Facebook traffic is mobile optimized nowadays. I mean, I'm sorry, it's mobile, it's on mobile devices. And even with email traffic, most people are just surfing the internet on mobile, checking their email on mobile. So you have to make sure that's a critical thing you can't skip. Everything must be mobile optimized. Okay, so content ideas. So let me just show you what I did. Real life example again. Network marketing questions. So easy way to come up with content ideas is just to see what questions are being asked in your niche. So again, this is a perfect group. It's literally a group of all questions for my niche. So biggest reason why some people quit. They didn't expect any obstacles. Should we tell them in advance? So then what I can do is I can turn around and I can create a video or whatever form of content that I like to put out, and I can address that. What's the biggest reason or the number one reason why most people quit? Or I can remix it a little bit and say, it's a fact that 97% of people in network marketing fail. I don't want you to, let me teach you how to avoid that. Click the link below, or whatever the case is. You want to make sure that your foundation is based on actual questions that people have inside of your industry. Even if you go to YouTube, any channel you go to, I'll just type in network marketing. Any information-based channel you go to is always going to be how-to videos. So you see right here, the first thing that pops up, how to get rich with network marketing, how to build a successful network marketing business. So they're literally answering the question in advance that they know their niche has. So for example, I think one of the most popular videos on YouTube is how to tie a tie. And I've watched it like probably 3 or 4 times because I never really learned how to do it. Right. So that's the great thing about being an influencer. All you have to do is just figure out what people need. Figure out what people want to know, make a list of them, and that's your content. That's literally your content. So I'm just going to show you a real example that I found for you guys yesterday. And I'll show you how I came across it. And don't mind me, I'm not used to doing all this stuff on my laptop. Just having some issues with my desktop at the moment. So yesterday, I literally just did a Google search. And I think I typed in travel questions or most mistakes that you should avoid with traveling. So you see 45 terrible, dumb travel mistakes were made so that you don't have to. And so literally they have a list of mistakes that people make. Not checking updated visa requirements. Let's see, leaving airport arrivals with the wrong luggage, falling in ignorance toward. I found a good one. Let's see, not learning basic phrases in local language, packing too much liquids in hand luggage. So this is just an example of content ideas. These are, you don't literally have to take this literal, but it should spur up some type of ideas in your mind, like, oh, I can piggyback off of that and touch on this type of thing, right? And so, let me see, not double checking, taking the first room you offer. So again, this is just a quick tip. You can always go to Google and type in the #1 mistakes that people should avoid and search a niche or whatever the case is. If you go find a Facebook group that's solely answering questions or that's a question group related, then you're good. You're gold. You'll never run out of content ideas. Again, I said this earlier, never post or spam groups. Nobody joins a spammer, period. It makes you look like you don't know what you're doing. And then the first thing that someone's going to ask you, even if you do manage to recruit someone from spamming different groups, the first thing that person's going to turn and look to you and ask is, do I have to do the same thing you were doing? Like, and you're going to create a whole chain reaction of people who are just spammers and who are just lost. None of that stuff is going to work. Right. So again, use this method to friend request every single person every day. Friend request. For example, Facebook is weird. My main profile, I have multiple profiles, but my main profile, they allow me to friend request, I believe, like 55 people a day. My other profile is like 60. Another profile I have is like 150. So it's weird. I'm not really sure how they gauge it, but you'll find out once you do the friend request process. Facebook will just cap you. They'll say, well, you can't do this anymore, or you can't friend request anymore. That just means wait till the next day and do some more. That's it. No big deal. Let's see. Here's some pages that I found. Okay. So I want to travel the whole world. Once a year, go somewhere you've never seen before. Check this out. 2.2 million people. Let's look at these posts. Look at this. This is crazy. Even though this was 5 years ago. Okay, I don't want to go off of that. Let's look at something else. This one right here, 135 engagers on this post. Okay, let's see. The night before vacation. Look at this, 1.6. Like, that literally epitomizes the excitement that a person has that's a real traveler. Like, a person has a passport, that's traveling somewhere every time you look around. This meme right here is a big indicator to me. Anybody that engages on this has an emotional attachment to traveling, right? So again, I will click on that inside of the software and I will friend request all of these people. Okay. 673 people, full moon. See, this is a prime example. Even though it's on the I want to travel the whole world page, I don't really feel that this is a big enough indicator that this crowd of engagers are really diehard travelers, right? They just might like that picture. Might be nice sceneries, a nice moon in the background. So I'm going to keep digging a little bit. Let's see. Exactly what's going on with the queen. Okay. And keep in mind, once you find just a couple of posts that have, these type of numbers, 600, 700, 1,000 people, all you need is a couple every month. And again, every day you just friend request more and more. Time spent amongst trees is never wasted. Let me just give it a couple more seconds, see if I find something. Let me just go to the next page. Let's see. So that's a great example. That's endless traffic. That's traffic in the bottle you can always tap into. Let's see.
It's amazing, amazing, amazing stuff right there.
For sure. Travel plus leisure. Let's see. Vote for your favorite hotel cities, worlds. See this one right here. I like that one. 25. And also, Dustin, I can always come back at another time because I have a tool that automates this process that allows you to find the highest engaged post inside of your niche. So maybe another time I'll go over that. But let me just finish this. Skip the crowd. So again, you understand, you get the drift. You want to find posts that contain your crowd, but also have a strong indicator that person has intentions on traveling, and basically that they're about that life. They live for this stuff. It's the same thing. I had a buddy of mine named Justin who he wanted to create a vegan clothing line. And I hooked him up with the tool. I told him, you want to target these different vegan groups. And I promise you, and he's one of the testimonies on the on Social Prospector Pro's page. Within a week, and keep in mind, he did this with a fresh profile. I told him, you want to remove your friends? He was like, no, let me just create another Facebook profile. Brand new profile, brand new banner, everything, no content. He just started friend requesting. And within, I believe, a week, he had like 200 or 300 friends. And every post that he made was getting like 600 or 700 likes. It was crazy because not only are these people passionate, like they live this lifestyle, but then also as they commented, they were tagging other people, and other people were coming in and friend requesting him and inboxing him and all of that type of stuff. So it's a chain reaction. A lot of times you'll see happen. Let's see. Let's do one more page. And so if you don't see by now, I'm looking for buyer intention. I'm looking for buyer intention. Let's see. Or some type of addiction. It sounds bad, but any niche that has very, very passionate, addicted people, like the video game niche or Comic-Con and stuff like that, where people dress up and, they really enjoy that lifestyle. That's the perfect niche, because it's you can be the worst salesperson in the world. And basically all you have to do is show up with a solution and they're sold already. They'll sell themselves. They'll logically convince themselves, right? Travel obsessed. So perfect daily dose of adventure. So literally people who are obsessed with travel. Let's see how many people. 500,000 people. Oh, I like that picture right there. So these are kind of generic stuff. There's no real indicators, but the fact that they took the time to like this page and they're constantly coming back, I would just go ahead. I feel comfortable targeting these people because they're travel junkies. They're self-proclaimed travel junkies, right? So let me go back, see what we got left. Now, and here's another thing. So I wrote, are you ready for the cream of the crop? So in your industry, you want to know all the buyer keywords. And I just did some quick research. Again, I'm not in this travel industry, but this definition right here, I looked it up in Google. It says in journalism, jet set is a term for an international social group of wealthy people who travel the world to participate in social activities unavailable to ordinary people. The term, which replaces cafe society, came from the lifestyle of traveling from one stylish or exotic place to another via jet plane. So what if you found a jet set group? What if you found a jet set page? And I think I did find one. But look at that. The definition of jet setting is literally wealthy people who just have money to just travel the world, right? So two things. They're interested in what you have to offer. And then you also know they have the money to back it up. They're not going to waste your time. Just imagine having, 10, 20 conversations with those type of people every day. So let's see, jet setters. So this is a group, 1.1K members. So even though this is not a huge group, remember quality over quantity. So I would start with this group first versus a group with 10,000 members that are just, I love to travel groups. Again, because a jet setter is a person that loves, that they don't mind spending money. And that's what you're trying to get at the end of the day. So again, you can join this group, apply. Let's see the activity. One new post today. Total members 1,100. 13 posts in the past week. It was created 2 years ago. Let's see. So that's a great group to start with. I would take a note on that if I were you. Again, you want active groups. So I'm just going to show you a bad example of a group that's not active. Okay, again, I just read off the activity. This is where you see it on any group. You look at the activity to see if the group is dead or not. And I'm going to show you this group right here. This is another jet setter group. It's almost 3,000 members, but I'm going to show you a few things. All right, so no new posts today. No new posts in the last month. No new members in the last week or month. That group is dead. I wouldn't even, and again, it's all about how you look at it, because once a jet setter, maybe always a jet setter. So even though they're not actively engaging and the group might be dead, it doesn't mean that that person still is not, living that lifestyle. So, it depends on you. But look at this right here. This was created almost 10 years ago. So this niche is different than mine. In network marketing, if I target somebody that showed me that they were interested 9 years ago, chances are they're not in it anymore. They probably gave up. They probably failed. But again, jet setter, travelers, chances are they're still hanging in and they're interested because they love it so much. So again, you can target these groups, but always remember to check the activity for any group before you go through the process of, filling out all of these different forms to get approved. All right, so let me just run through this tool again. By the way, Dustin, any questions?
Yeah, there's a couple that's popped up. Somebody's asking if there's a way that you can see like who has hidden your post. Somebody doesn't like what they see and they turn it off. Is there a way to see that?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah. So that basically, if you were, like I actually have a brother who I'm not a fan of what he posts, so I just turn off. So we become friends. We stay friends. He's asking if there's a way that my brother could see that I turn him off or not.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And then Sonia was asking, is it better to start with a new profile if you're going to do this?
All right, that's a great question. Here's the thing. So like I said, I have multiple profiles. I have two main profiles with my actual picture and name on it. And then I have like 3 other profiles that I had created for my virtual assistants, but I actually own them. So every year it gets a little tougher to create a profile and have it stay up, without Facebook taking it down, deactivated, or whatever the case is. So my second profile I created 2 years ago. I literally just went in with my phone. I didn't have my phone connected to my Wi-Fi so that it was using its data plan. The reason I did that is because your phone has what's called a dynamic IP. And the dynamic part is every single time you browse, your phone uses a different IP address. And so it's going to be different from your Wi-Fi because you're not connected using your data plan. And so Facebook's not going to block you from creating another profile. Again, here's the thing. They're very strict. Over the years, they've gotten a lot stricter. They've changed a lot, especially in the past year and a half. So I don't know if it's still that easy to do it. But if you can, I definitely recommend that you do that. That way, for a fact, you're starting off square one. Every single person that you add that's building up your friends list are the perfect prospects. But if you can't, then you could just go through the process of removing friends. So let me just show you real quick. So say, for example, these inactive people, let me just show you this real quick again. So I have 1,500 people inactive. I don't necessarily want to remove all 1,500 people because I sent out friend requests today. Now, let's just say Rodney just received my friend request yesterday and he became friends with me today. I don't want to group him. I don't want to group him. For example, select first 100. I don't want to group him with the other people that's been friends with me for the past maybe 5-6 months because I haven't given him enough time to engage with my stuff or even warm up or see my stuff. So what I want to actually do is I want to sort this from oldest to newest. That way that I know once I do look through these people and I can either handpick them one by one, I can select first 100, 200, all the way up to 1,000. I'm starting with my oldest friends first. So that gives you peace of mind. And then also, let me deselect that. You can exclude people that you recently became friends with all the way up to the past 6 months. So watch this number, 1,500, watch what happens. So it dropped down by 200. So what that just did was it removed people who are basically within whatever I consider my time span to give people enough time to engage with me. It can be 3 months, 6 months, whatever the case. Maybe how hard that I'm posting. If I post, 2, 3, 4 times a day and, nobody engages within 2 months, then that might be my cutoff. But if I only post one time every 2-3 days, which I do, I might give them a little bit more time to see my stuff, right? So I want to start with the oldest first, and I want to make sure I exclude people who became friends with me within the past 6 months. And that way I'm left with people that I know that had plenty of time. And then also they're my oldest friends. So it's no excuse in my mind. I can just get busy and start removing these people. And the way you remove, you just come down here. And I think, I selected 3 people. We have a wait time. We also have something called a blacklist. And the way that the blacklist works is, if I'm targeting, remember I said all you need is a handful of posts, right? If you got a post that has 1,000 plus engagers, that post might last you through a whole month of just every day, rinse and repeat, friend requesting every single day until you work through that whole list of engagers. Now, if I remove somebody and then I come back the next week to that same post, I don't want the software to send that person a friend request again, because the software is going to start from the top and it's going to work its way down. So by having this checked, add friend to the blacklist, is going to automatically blacklist this person, and it's going to tell the software, don't friend request them again. If we run into them in the same group or even a different group or post later, the software automatically knows to skip over that person. Let's see. And then also, I'll tell you this is one of my favorites as well. When a lot of people, when they first get in and they say, okay, well, it's a lot of tools, where do I start? First thing I tell them is go through the tutorials, and you can see every single feature in here has a tutorial video that walks you through, shows you how it works. And we also have tips. So we have recommendations for each tool as well. And I'll tell you, for example, I had a customer named Mona, and she was excited. She said, all right, I installed it. I activated it. What should I do first? I said, go to the deactivated profile feature and tell me how many people on your friends list were deactivated that you had no clue about. They were just taking up space. And I didn't expect it. She came back and she had like 650 or something like that deactivated profiles on her friends list. Keep in mind, the software can weed through and find these people. Facebook doesn't show you. Facebook does not show the user deactivated profiles on their friends list. I don't know why, but the software is able to locate these. So you might have 5,000 friends and not even know, 1,200 of them have been deactivated for the past 2-3 years, and they just been taking up space and not allowing you to friend more people every single day. So you want to make sure that you remove people who are not engaging and remove deactivated profiles. And let's see, I'm gonna show you something real quick that's a pretty cool feature. So for example, I can take this inactive list, and I might say, well, I want to give them another chance. I don't want to flat out remove let's see, I don't want to flat out remove these 200 people. I want to go ahead and add them to a broadcast list. So inactive people. So you can see it's saved. I'll go here to the broadcast list tool, and right here, inactive people. So now what I did was I created a list that was segmented, and it only contains people that have been friends with me for over 6 months and that are inactive. So now I might give them one last chance and go to the mass messenger tool, select broadcast, inactive, and I might type a message like, hey, first name. And this first name token is going to automatically tell Facebook to insert that person's first name. You can do first name or full name. I see that it's been a while since we last connected. How are things on your end? I don't want to flat out pitch them. I don't want to say, hey, man, I'm about to remove you unless you're interested in XYZ. I just want to pique the interest. I want to start that conversation. And then based on who replies back, I'll be able to say, okay, these people I'm going to work on some more, and these people I'm going to remove. But what this is going to allow you to do is, and I'm just going to select a couple of other messages. Okay. And this is a good one. This is a Monday message. So basically on Monday every week, remember, we're friend requesting people every single week. And so our friends list is growing throughout the week. And so at the top of every week, what you can do is something like this. Hey, first name, thanks for connecting. I hope you had a great weekend. Let's crush it this week. So what you just did was reached out to maybe 30, 40, 50 people that accepted your friend request through the week. And so that's going to spark conversation, right? And who knows what can come out of conversations with your perfect prospects. You never know. Again, you're not wasting your time. You should be pumped and energized that you now get to interact with these people. And you came off, as a a good guy, right? You're not pitching. You're not a, sleazy salesperson, whatever the case is. And so I just showed you multiple messages for a reason. So let me just add one more in here. And so what's going to happen is if I press send right now, let me just type in 30. And you see we have, our tips and everything. We recommend to not send no more than 30 messages per day for two reasons. You want to stay under Facebook's radar. It doesn't make sense to send hundreds of messages. And then at the same time, this is not like email where maybe some of them might hit promotionals tab, some of them might hit the spam folder. These people are going to get your message. If they're your friends, they're going to get your message in their inbox and they're going to see a notification on their phone. So the inbox rate is 100%. So you don't want to send, 100 messages. And then when people reply back, you have a hard time having quality conversations with these people, because the name of the game is close these people into a sale. If you're stretched too thin across 15 different conversations, you're not going to be as efficient as you can be. So I recommend no more than 30 messages a day. And if I press send, what's going to happen is it's going to rotate evenly between every single variation of this message that I entered in here. So these are 4 different messages. So first person is going to get this, second is going to get this, so on and so forth. You can have an endless amount of message variations, and the software is going to automatically rotate between each of them. And again, that way it makes it look more natural. You select your wait time, 5 seconds up to 60 seconds. And that way you stay off of Facebook's radar. Okay. Also, you can send to people you recently became friends with. So recently added within the past 24 hours up to the past 3 months. You could choose to send to all your friends, but it says don't send message if you've already sent in the past 1 day up to the past 3 months. So we give you a lot of options. Once you do start this process, you're going to have a lot of people that try to pitch you, that try to spam you. So we have something called the message remover. And what I like to do is I come down here to view unread messages. I click fetch. And so now you see I have 9 messages that it found. So I can either click to delete all, or I can click to choose. And I just choose to delete these people. And you can see it's going to remove these people one by one. It's going to remove these messages, not these people as friends, one by one. And Dustin, while I'm going over this, any other questions or any specific feature you want me to kind of go in depth on?
Yeah, there's definitely some questions, and this is fire, by the way. But yeah, a couple other questions that have popped up. Sonia's asking if you have offers in different niches, should you have separate profiles for each?
I recommend it. Yep. That's a great question. And I do that personally. So the reason being is if you're trying to connect with any and everybody, then you're not really resonating with that one person, that perfect person that you're looking for. So if you're selling something that relieves of pain and health, then have a profile for that. If you're selling something for network marketers, have a profile for that. Or you might say, well, I started off in network marketing, but this travel thing is taking off. I'm making way more money. Let me convert this profile over to serve the travel industry. And you could just swap out your banner for a new one, remove those old network marketing friends. So it's multiple things you can do. But if you can create multiple profiles, definitely have them for the different niches that you go after.
Speaking of multiple profiles, Lorraine from Australia says that I already have another profile that I haven't used for a while, and I could use that. Do I need to use that with a separate phone or not? And wait, a separate phone, not on Wi-Fi?
Well, I was referring to the creation process, because a lot of times when you try to create different separate profiles from the same IP, Facebook will say, well, hey, I know what you're doing. I know that that's you, and we only allow you to have one profile. So that's what they say technically. So the way to get around that is to create another profile using a different IP. But if you already have that other profile, then you should be good. You should be fine.
Bambi is asking, so when we're doing the messages, when you were talking about doing the messages for the new people that we connected with, is there a way to add a video, like doing an intro video message or something to them?
You can add any type of video. You could drop the link in the message that you type out, that you pre-write.
So just like a YouTube video or something like that?
Right.
Or a Loom or something like, hey, okay, that makes sense.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But it won't be personalized, obviously.
It won't be personalized. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Okay, and then Jerry is asking if you picked 100 people, so when you're doing like the, to send the message to 100 people and only 30 messages go out, how do you send the rest of the 70 and they're not sent to that same 30 again? Which is a good question. I was thinking about that too.
That's a great question. So the software will show you where it stops. So again, 100 people, you sent to 30, it'll say 70 remaining. And so when you come back the next time and you send another 30, it'll say, what's that, 40 remaining. You get what I mean? So it'll actually keep, it'll remember where you left off.
Nice.
So you just piggyback, and continue to later on.
Cool. I dig it, man. There's a couple things in here that I forget about. I've only really been doing the member friender, and obviously, taking away the people who haven't engaged my post. And I've been doing a lot of the extras, like the commenting and hearting 20 comments every single day. I've been doing that just about. Right. So maybe touch on that one really quick. The post, the comment auto replier, not the auto replier tool. What is the one? The post lover tool. Yep.
Yeah. And this is one of my favorite tools. This is also one of the features that a lot of users abuse. And so this is why we have, again, tips, no more than 20 scrolls. It's a thing when you have automation. A lot of times you're like a kid in a candy store. You're like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You still got to keep in mind that we got to follow Facebook's rules and we have to make things look natural. And so you don't want to, fire off. We have, I think, 17, 18 features in this thing. You don't want to do all 18 in one day. It wouldn't make sense and you would be overloaded, right? And so what I do, I'll just show you this. I'll put it down to 10 scrolls. And so what you can do is you put 10 scrolls in here. Let me make this big. All right, you see right here, it says love post, click on start, and it's going to scroll down 10 times, just like the other features you saw. And then it's going to come to the top, but it's going to do a couple of things, right? Once it comes to the top, it's going to then automatically love each post that it came across. But look at this right here. This ad is going to skip it. I'll show you. Okay, so it went to this post, which is mine, I think. But you notice it didn't love that ad. So we programmed it to skip ads. And then also we had people ask in the past, well, what if someone had a death in the family or, someone had a loss, they lost somebody or whatever the case is, and you don't want to come off as insensitive by putting a heart. And my immediate response to that was, a heart is universal. It can be, my heart goes out to you or whatever the case is. It's not like you're putting a laughing face, but I understand the question. So what we did was we programmed it so that it looks for the majority emoji. And what I mean by that is when you click on any post, you look at their engagers, Facebook segments every single emoji. It might say 400 people hit the laugh button, 20 people hit the angry button. So it looks at the post and sees what the majority is, what the majority emoji is. And then if the majority is, as long as it's not angry, sad, crying, or anything like that, then the software knows that this post should be okay to give a love to, right? So that means if the majority is thumbs up or love or laughing, then that post is going to get a love. And what this does at the same time is it actually hacks Facebook, because Facebook, and you might have noticed this, again, they take away that algorithm every year. It gets worse as far as our organic reach, but there's a couple of things that you can do to stay on top of your timeline and your friends' timelines. And one of these things is to love and comment on people's posts, right? So first thing in the morning, this is what I tell some people to do. When you come on Facebook, don't just endlessly, like mindlessly scroll down looking for memes and stuff. The first 10, 20 posts, give some love to. Love it. You can use the software to automate it. You can put, personalized comments on. And throughout the rest of that day, whoever you engage with, their post, they're going to then see your post, if you do create one that day, at the top of their timeline. It's the same thing if you just had a conversation in your inbox. If I just had a conversation with Bambi or Dustin, he probably, once he leaves that conversation and goes to his, the Facebook homepage, he'll probably see my post as number one at the top of his timeline. That's just how Facebook works. So by doing the post lover tool, you're actually hacking that process, because you're interacting and engaging, and in turn, those people you engage with will see your post more often. And then we also have this feature right here where you can click the add-on to add comments. So it works the same. You can create multiple versions. Thanks for sharing this. First name. I loved this post. Add comment. You can click skip post you've already commented on. You have seconds, the wait time in between each comment. You can put, let's say 15 seconds. You can click start. And once I click start, it's going to go down and it's going to do the same process. So it's going to love this post, but then it's going to evenly rotate between those variations of comments, and it's going to leave comments. And keep in mind, you want to do generic comments. Don't be specific, and then it doesn't make sense, right? You leave a generic comment like loved it or thanks for sharing, whatever the case is on these posts. So the same principle. It just
let's go crush this Wednesday or have a great weekend, that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let me quickly run through this one. So from request cancellation tool. So again, our goal is we want to fill up our friends list with 5,000 of the highest quality prospects that we can laser in on. And that's what the tool allows us to do. But as we're sending friend requests every single day, Facebook, once we get to 1,000 pending friend requests, that means I've sent 1,000 friend requests and now I'm waiting for all 1,000 to accept it or reject it. Once you hit that limit, Facebook doesn't allow you to send another friend request until, again, somebody accepts it or rejects it and makes room for a couple of more friend requests to go out. So what you can do is you can hack that process. And let's say, so right now I have 125 pending friend requests. I just sent some out just now on this demonstration video, right? So I don't want to start with those people I just sent the friend request to. I want to start to the oldest with the oldest first. So let me tell the software I want to remove 10. So what's going to happen is it's going to go to my very oldest pending friend request and it's just going to remove them. And once it gets to 10, it's going to stop. It's going to be complete. So that's another powerful tool because you will run into that process, that issue eventually as you fill up your friend request, as you send out more friend requests and you cap out with your pending friend request limit. We have other, cool add-ons like the group remover. I had one customer, she was in like 700 groups. I've never seen anything like that. It was amazing. But like literally since she got on Facebook, she was just joining random groups and she never knew how to leave them. And so that kind of inspired. We didn't have this tool at first, but a couple of people with that same issue came and we added this in here. So it allows you to, scroll through, select groups for removal, or you could say, what was the name of that group? It was network marketing something. Let's see. Or maybe it was, I think because I selected them, it's not working. So yeah, you can actually filter by search. You can type in network marketing and then it'll pull up that particular group. Let me deselect it real quick. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure why that didn't happen, but you can find them again by searching. Let's see. Fancy text tool. I like this one right here. So marketing 101 is attention. Get attention. I already told you how traffic works. Literally, traffic is just people hanging out in the same location that have the same interests. Marketing is like fishing. You see all the fish are in that pond. You get your bait on your reel and you throw it out there and get their attention. So marketing 101 is get attention, right? So we have something called the fancy text tool that allows your text to pop out more so that it attracts more attention. So let me go ahead. I'm going to bold that. I'm going to italicize that.
I use this often, by the way.
It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
And then we have some emojis in here for you. So let's just say, all right. So if I click on copy to clipboard, I then can come back to my profile. This works whether it's, you posting in a group, page, profile, whatever the case is. And you post that in there. You can do it in ads. I think I got an ad running right now where I have fancy text in it. And it just, again, it stops the scroll because people are mindlessly on Facebook looking for memes, looking to laugh, looking to kill time. So the more people you can stop for that split moment, for that split second and read what you have to offer, Of course, that's more traffic, which means more clicks, which means more sales, potential sales. Let's see. Incoming friend requests. So I'll just run through this real quick. Me personally, I like to be on the hunt. It sounds bad, but when people friend request me, I really don't like to accept it because I don't know what you're about, what you're interested in, where you came from. I like to go at people and after people and friend request them because I know if you accepted it, I know exactly what you're about because I know where I found you. So I made this. It might not be popular for everybody, but I personally use it. It's called the incoming friend request remover. And so right now I have 26 pending friend requests. And so I can choose to remove all requests. I can choose to remove all without mutual friends, or I could just enter a flat number. Say if I wanted to remove, 16 out of the 20. But let me just show you real quick. Let me see if anybody doesn't have. So she doesn't have a mutual friend. Let's see. Yeah. So this will literally go through and only remove people without a mutual friend. So that's just another add-on. We have people that run ads, people that have Facebook business pages who want to build up the likes and also Facebook has something called a lookalike. They let you create a lookalike audience. And basically what that is if your Facebook business page has a minimum, I think, of 1,000 likes, I think that's what they require. Facebook will take those 1,000 people and they will cross-check it with 3 billion other people on Facebook. And they will basically expand your list. So you can have a list of 1,000 people who like your page, and Facebook will turn that 1,000 into 3 million or 1.5 million of people who look like that audience. So it's based on whatever metrics they have in their database, people who read the same books, people who go to the same conventions, whatever the case is. Facebook tracks everything. Literally, they'll take those likers of your Facebook page and they'll turn it into hundreds of thousands or millions of people who look just like it. And that'll allow you to, if you run Facebook ads, to get laser targeted with your Facebook ads. So the way this tool works, it basically looks at what page you're the owner of, and you can select that. And then it'll fetch groups that you're a member of and also an admin of. And basically, say, for example, if I'm selling travel, right? If I'm selling a travel opportunity and I create a brand new Facebook business page about travel. And then I joined, remember that step in the beginning, I joined, 10, 15, 20 different travel groups. This tool will allow me to send an invite for people in particular groups to like my particular page. So again, if I'm into network marketing and I know Social Prospector Pro allows network marketers to get leads, I then want to select network marketing questions group, and I want to send an invite to every person I'm a friend with inside that group. That's the catch. Facebook doesn't matter what tool you use. If you do it manually, Facebook doesn't allow you to send invites unless you're friends with that person. But say out of the network marketing questions group, I'm friends with 400 people in there. So what's going to happen is 400 people are going to get an invitation notification that says Rodney Stokes would like you to check out Social Prospector Pro page. And again, if it's vegan, going to a vegan page, if it's network marketing, going to a network marketing page, it's going to make sense. And a big percentage of those people are going to like your page. And once you get enough people to like it, you can take those likes and Facebook will turn it into a lookalike audience that allows you to get super dialed in, and it's going to increase your conversion. So that's another nice add-on. Let's see. Comment auto replier. I think that's the last one. Post lever tool. So basically how this one works, I used to teach a method called the Tell Me More post. And basically it was a way a couple of years ago, and it still works, to hack Facebook's algorithm by creating a value-based post that says, how would you like to travel the world at a discounted rate, live the laptop lifestyle, and XYZ. If you're interested, type tell me more or type info or whatever, people like to ask people to type, right? So this feature is designed to allow you to automate that process. So if I made that type of post and then I told people what to type, I then can select that post. I tell the software how much wait time in between each reply that I wanted to send. So I'm putting in 15. And you see right here, it says your reply message. So thanks for, what is it? Commenting. And then I can put the first name. Here are the details. So you can send a link, whatever the case is, or say check your inbox, or whatever the case is. You can create multiple variations, and then you can also tell it to only reply to comments that actually follow directions. I don't recommend this all the time, but I put it in there as an option because you're just going to have people that just skim through it and maybe they didn't see that you said reply, tell me more, or info, and they just say I want to know more, or hey, I want to, whatever the case is. So this is optional, but if you did tell people specifically what to reply, then you could tell the software you can even put typos if you want to cover from all angles. But you could fill that up, and what the software is going to do is it's going to go to the post and it's going to scan. You see, it's going to skip it because nobody's going to comment, tell me more on this post. It's going to scan the comments, and it's going to see if the phrase was said or the keyword was said, and if it didn't, it's not going to leave any comments. But let me remove this. Let me go ahead and start that back up. So now you see that I removed the comment. I removed the phrase, and the keyword is now going to scan. You see it's checking this first comment. And you see it says, thanks for commenting, put her first name, and here are the details. So you can imagine if you have a post. I remember one time I did this a couple of years ago, and literally I had to hire a VA, a virtual assistant, and I paid them like 5 cents for every reply they did because one of my posts went viral and it had like over 1,000 comments. And so I got tired of doing this. So that kind of inspired me to create a tool that automated this process. So you can just imagine if that's a strategy that you do, this tool will automatically work as your assistant, and it will go through and it'll reply to every single comment. Skip comments you've already replied to, love each comment as well. So I could have chose for the software to love the comment that Quandra wrote and then also reply back to her. So in a nutshell, let's see if I missed anything. Deactivated, inactive. Oh, group inviter. So this pretty simple, works just like it sounds. Same concept as page inviter. Basically, if you have a brand new group, if you created a group like Travel Lovers or whatever for yourself, you're the admin of that group, it'll appear on this side. So you'll have your Travel Lovers group. This profile, I don't have any groups that I own on the profile, so that's why it's blank. And then you can go to your I Love to Travel groups that you're a member of that has, X amount of thousands of members in there. And again, as long as you're friends with people in that group, it'll send out an invitation. And once that person clicks OK, then they'll automatically become a member of your group. So that's a quick way to basically fast start the growth of a brand new group. So if you're friends with, again, 300 people inside of a travel group, you send an invite to join your travel group, a percentage of those people are going to accept that. And now you have a big head start versus doing all this stuff manually.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, great. Well, I've got this other account that I haven't used for a while, but I made it when I was training to be an adventure tour guide. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to start my own page, and then I'm going to go into the groups, like you're saying, to add friends. I'm going to create some value posts of, what travelers' tips. I'm going to tell some stories in detail about where I've been in my 6 continents of travel. And I'm going to create my, go in to get enough friends from certain groups so that then I have them coming to me to friend me. I'm going to have a new banner up the top that's going to say what I'm about. And I'm going to then use that. What did you say that just like page, so that it creates that just like, and it's going to then hopefully drive those people to my group or my page. Is that correct?
The group inviter and the page inviter tools?
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's beautiful. You nailed that. That's perfect. I wouldn't even.
I'm just so grateful. Like, I've spent thousands in coaching on how to become 100K earners, and they all told me to go and cold prospect in these groups, and you're saying not to. And it's just like, I'm just so vibing with what you're saying. I just want you to know that this is what, that journey that we spent that other money is making us go, yes, this is more right for me than ever now. So thank you.
For sure.
Thank you, Lorraine, for that.
You're welcome. And just to add to that, the reason I tell people do not post in these groups is because a lot of times people post in my group and they never see, people never see it because I kick them out. And then again, nobody ever joins a spammer, right? So you want to siphon these people all out of all these groups, bring them into your world. Once they're on your friends list, every time you post, you're coming off as the expert. You're coming off as the person of value, and it's being seen by the same people. It's just done in a different way. So that's beautiful.
Kathy, you should be able to unmute your mic now. Do you want to let us know how you're going to get started?
Well, basically, all of this is brand new for me. So, I want to add everything I can add and get started with, messaging people and getting into these groups. I have a membership in some groups, but not really have gone in and done what you guys were talking about as far as, seeking those people out of there.
Gotcha.
So, and then I've got to set up a little bit different on my Facebook page too. So all these tools would help very much. So
for sure.
And then at the same time, we have, and then you can ask anybody. I know some people in here, they know me. I'm always open to, help. I'm accessible. I'm always creating training, and there's tons of tutorials. So you'll be good to go, Kathy.
Don't
get overwhelmed. So. Yeah.
We'll have Rodney on more too. This won't be the only time. We'll jump on maybe, next week if he's available, and you guys do another power hour, just going over some things. Cause I've had this software for a minute, and every time I watch him do it, there's like 2 or 3 things like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that one. And so I'm starting to do it as well. So man, it definitely helps for sure.